Let's talk about something so many women are carrying quietly today. Something we've been taught to normalize, something we've even been praised about for pushing through, and that is burnout. And before you brush this off and think, that's not me, I want you to pause just for a moment, because burnout doesn't always look like falling apart. Most of the time, it looks like holding everything together for far too long. So many women are exhausted, not because they're lazy, no, not because they're incapable, but because they've been carrying too much for far too long without any rest. You see, we juggle careers, families, relationships, emotional expectations, and somewhere along the way, the world convinces that laying any of it down is weakness, and that rest is laziness, that slowing down means you're falling apart, and that if you stop, everything will come falling apart. But here's the truth. We're finally starting to say out loud, burnout is real. It's not a buzzword. It's not something you made up. It's not a personal flaw. It's a response. A response to the prolonged stress, to constantly being on the go and never being able to switch off, to never finally exhale. Burnout doesn't discriminate, no. It doesn't care how strong you are, how capable you are. Burnout happens when your nervous system has been running in survival mode for far too long, without any relief. Burnout doesn't happen overnight like we all think. It doesn't announce itself loudly like, hey, I'm here. It whispers quietly, consistently. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous, because most of us don't even notice it until we're really deep inside of it. See, burnout looks like saying yes when your body is screaming no. It looks like telling yourself, I'll rest later. It looks like pushing through because everyone is counting on you. Does this all sound familiar? Burnout is what happens when stress never ends. Not stress for a day, no. Not stress for a week or a month, but prolonged stress, unrelentless stress with no real release, no recovery, no pause. It's like treading water endlessly and never being able to swim to shore long enough just to breathe. Now, if this sounds familiar and you're nodding along right now, I want you to pause for a moment, because you're not imagining it. And you're not the only one living it. So many women are walking around feeling exactly this way. Functioning on the outside, telling yourself that you're just tired, while your body, your mind, and your nervous system is quietly whispering, enough, enough, enough. But we've been conditioned to believe burnout only shows up as a breakdown, and it only counts when everything finally falls apart. But for many women, burnout looks quieter than that. Sometimes burnout looks like waking up tired even after sleeping. You need coffee just to feel human. Small things irritate you more than they should. You feel disconnected from things you used to enjoy. You scroll at night because your body is exhausted, but your mind just won't switch off. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, but still you feel empty inside. And then you start thinking, what's wrong with me? But let me tell you today, nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken, you're burnt out. And I know this because I've been there too with you. I remember a season in my life where on the outside everything looked rosy. I was like skipping through the fields of tulip. I had a marriage, the family, the job. I was functioning, showing up, doing what needed to be done at work and at home. But on the inside, I felt so numb. Not sad, just flat. Not inspired, just pushing through with a smile on my face. I kept telling myself, once things are settled down, I'll rest. But something else always came along. Another responsibility, another demand, another plate to carry. It was an endless loop until one day I realized something important. I wasn't tired because I was weak, no. I was tired because I hadn't rested in years. I was so afraid to slow down, too afraid to say no, too afraid to let one plate fall because I believed that would mean I was failing. So today I want to talk about this because burnout is not weakness. It's a very real experience that so many women quietly are living with it. And I want to talk about why it happens, why we've been taught to normalize it, and most of all, how we can stop burning ourselves out in the first place. So let's talk about the 5 main reasons women burn out and what we can begin to do differently. So, reason 1, you're stressed, but you haven't really named the source. Most of us have said this somewhere in our life. This is stressing me out. But we really ask ourselves why. We point to the surface problem, the job, the deadline, the responsibilities. But stress isn't always about what we're doing. It's often about how we're doing it. Let me give you an example. You might say, this project is stressing me out. But when you slow down and stop and you look closer to the truth, this might sound like I'm stressed because I feel pressured for time. Or I'm pressured for time because I'm overwhelmed. Or I'm pressed for time because I'm overcommitted. Or I'm overcommitted because I don't feel allowed to say no. Do you see the difference? Avoiding stress does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means removing unnecessary pressure. Before you say yes to another task, before you take on another responsibility, before you add one more thing to your already full plate, I want you to pause and ask yourself these 3 questions, honestly, without judgment. Is this creating pressure that doesn't actually need to exist? Am I overextending right now to prove my worth? Am I saying yes from guilt or from alignment? Because the answer to these questions will tell you everything. They will show you where your energy is leaking. They will reveal what's slowly burning you out. This isn't about doing less out of laziness, no. It's about doing it differently with intention. You see, self-awareness is the key. It's how you find the real source of your burnout. Now, reason number 2, you never complete the stress cycle. Here's the second thing we need to talk about. And this one is huge. And that is, stress itself isn't the problem. It's unfinished stress that wears us down. So let me explain what I mean by unfinished stress and how it shows up in your body. Burnout happens when the stress cycle never completes. So many of us move from one stressful moment straight into the next one without even allowing our body to come back down, to pause. We stay tense, we stay alert, we stay on guard, and over time that becomes exhausting. Stress isn't the enemy. No, unfinished stress is. You see, your nervous system is designed to move through stress, not to live in it. But instead of completing the cycle, we distract ourselves. We push harder. We stay busier. We tell ourselves we'll rest later. And that's when burnout settles in. Completion doesn't look like being more productive. It doesn't look like powering through more work, more tasks, and it definitely doesn't look like numbing yourself. No, my love. Completion looks like this: stretching, breathing, slowing down, breathing intentionally. That tells your body it's safe. Emotional release, crying, journaling, just talking it out. Connection, being seen, heard, held, being understood. resting. Real rest, not the collapsing from exhaustion. This is how your body finishes what stress has started. And I want you to really hear this part. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to be stronger. You don't need to handle more. You need to allow your nervous system to complete the cycle it's already in. Do you hear that? Because burnout isn't a sign that you're failing. No, it's a sign that your body is being asking to be released. So instead of asking yourself, how do I keep going? I want you to try asking yourself a different question. What do I need right now to come back to my body? And the answer doesn't have to be dramatic. It might be simple as putting on a kettle and making yourself a cup of tea or a coffee without your phone interrupting you, without multitasking. It might be stepping outside and going for a brief walk just to let your nervous system breathe. It might be placing your hand over your chest and reminding your body that it's safe. It might be reading a few pages of something that's going to ground you or inspire you. It might be calling someone who makes you feel safe or seen. It might be just sitting still and letting yourself cry. Just letting it all out. You see, there is no one right thing that's going to complete the loop for everybody. It's different for each individual person. Finding what works for you, what actually helps your body settle, is how you complete your stress cycle. And when you start doing this consistently, something powerful happens. You stop carrying stress from one moment to the next. You stop letting tension pile up unnoticed. You stop living in a constant state of alert. That one shift from pushing through to tuning in can change everything. Reason number 3, you are sacrificing sleep like it's an option. So let's talk about this sleep, an honest talk. Because sleep is not a luxury. It's not something you keep borrowing from the sleep bank without consequences. And yet it always is the first thing we sacrifice when life gets stressful. We tell ourselves things like, I'll sleep when things calm down. I'll catch up on the weekend. I'll rest after this season, after this project. Here's the truth. We don't want to face that season, that project often never seems to end. And burnout thrives on exhaustion. You cannot heal a nervous system that never gets to power down. You cannot pour from an empty body, no matter how strong you are. Real rest is not zoning out on the couch while your mind is still racing. It's not scrolling until you pass out. And it's not collapsing into bed after running on adrenaline all day. Real rest is restorative. It's completing a full sleep cycle. It's allowing your body to move into a deep sleep where repair actually happens. It's waking up feeling grounded and not resentful of the day ahead. And listen, my love. Good sleep isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about creating an environment that tells your body, you're safe now. You can let go. That might look like a darker room, a quieter space, turning off all screens earlier than you want to, because your nervous system needs less stimulation to settle. It might mean putting your phone down 30 minutes before going to bed, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. It might mean not checking email late at night. It might mean a few deep breaths in before bed, or a short moment of stillness to release the day. And I know for so many women out there, nighttime is the only quiet moment we get. I hear it. I understand. It's the only time no one needs us. We stay awake longer than we should, trying to claim a sense of control. But the cost of that is paid the very next day in having that fog mind, being emotionally overwhelmed, and of course exhausted. Your nervous system cannot heal while it's constantly alert. It cannot reset while it's always bracing for the next thing. So instead of asking, how little sleep can I get away with? Try asking, what would help my body feel supported tonight? Because sleep is not a reward for finishing everything. No, it's a requirement for being able to live well. And your sleep is not selfish. It's one of the most powerful ways you can protect yourself from burnout. Now, reason number 4, you're disconnected from joy and connection. Here's something most people don't talk about enough. Burnout isn't about just doing too much. It's about not receiving enough, not enough joy, not enough pleasure, not enough softness, not enough moments where your body feels relaxed instead of braced. So many women are constantly giving their time, giving their energy, giving their care, their attention, but really receiving anything back. And when your life becomes all about output, burnout slowly creeps in. The thing that brings you joy, ease, peace, and happiness and connection, they are not optional. They are necessary. And I'm talking about simple human things like laughing with someone you feel safe with, putting on music and letting your body move, or going out dancing with friends, going for a walk just to breathe, reconnect with your body, your mind, and your soul again, sitting in the sun and letting it warm you, dancing in your kitchen for no reason at all. You see, some of the simplest things can change everything. Spending time with someone who doesn't drain you, they are how your body remembers that life is more than survival. Your body needs a reminder that allows you to feel good, because burnout isn't healed by isolation. It's healed through safety, connection, and receiving. And allowing yourself to receive, even in small ways, is one of the most powerful steps in preventing burnout. Now, number 5, you've forgotten that you are worthy of care. This might be the most important part. So many women burn out because they forget to take care of themselves. They believe that slowing down means falling behind. They have been taught that their need comes last. You forget that you are not a machine. You are not just a resource. You are flesh and blood. You have a nervous system. You have limits. You need care, rest, and connection just like anyone else. You are allowed to take care of yourself without feeling guilty, because nothing is more important than your health and well-being. Burnout doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're being given too much without receiving enough. It means you've been strong for far too long without having the support system around you. And your strength doesn't mean suffering in silence. So maybe what you need right now isn't to push harder, but to finally let yourself rest. You don't need to do more. You don't need to become tougher. You need to start caring for yourself the same way you care for everyone else. You need to stop abandoning yourself just to prove you can handle it all. And maybe for once, you need to be quiet enough to listen. Listen to your body, to your mind, to what you've been ignoring all this time for far too long. Because burnout is not your enemy. It's a message. It's a message asking you to slow down, to choose yourself, to come home to your body, to remember that you matter deeply. And it reminds you that nothing is worth more than your health. Nothing is worth more than your peace. Nothing is worth more than losing yourself. So if no one has told you this lately, let me be the one to say this to you. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to put the plates down. You are not weak for needing care. You are human. This is Redefine Her World, where we rise together one brave step at a time. And if this message spoke to your heart, don't forget to like and share and subscribe, because somewhere out there, another woman needs to know how to come back to herself. Thank you, my love. Bye.